I'm Frank Miniter, the editor-in-chief of the NRA's America's First Freedom. Today, we're beginning a new department called Gun Industry Insider. In this department, we'll be talking to the movers and shakers in the firearms business. So often, product design, development, and even distribution, unfortunately, intersects with questions about our freedom today. So we're beginning this right where we should, with James Sellers, founder and CEO of Sellmark Corporation. You no doubt already are aware of many of his brands. They include Sightmark, Pulsar, Firefield, and Bullet Safe. So welcome, James.
Thank you, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here.
Watching your company and getting to know you more, I see that it seems to me you were founded it on the idea of innovation. You must have seen holes in the marketplace and said to yourself, I can develop products in these categories to really please gun-owning consumers. So can you give us a little background on Sellmark, how you started, why you started the company, and how you're developing these various brands?
Absolutely. So my background starts with the formative years hunting and shooting in northern Michigan. As a child, I grew up in some of the most beautiful country, forests and fields and swamps and lakes. Really, really just, it was actually a hunting reserve. There's a club, a hunting club, and there's like 12 or 13 members. And my father was a big naturalist. He loved nature and outdoors. He's a photographer. He was in the advertising business, just a brilliant man. And, we would spend hours and hours trekking the woods and forests and taking in the beauty of nature and everything. That was very important to me. And he believed that it was very, very important, as did his father, that young people need to learn how to safely handle firearms. So at a very young age, I think it was like 4 or 5, I learned how to shoot off a tire in California with my grandfather. And it wasn't that long afterwards, I was given a 22 that I could use for target practice. And every time I wanted to go target shoot, I'd go downstairs and ask my dad, I want to go to shoot targets. He would give me the bolt to the 22. It says, just don't shoot towards the cabin. I said, yes, sir. I'd go out there and shoot even battle caps and things like that. So I grew up really shooting. My father wasn't a hunter though. So my passion for hunting came from the fireside stories of the hunters in northern Michigan about the deer hunting that they would do. And I always wanted to be more into that lifestyle. And, now that I have a company in the outdoors, I definitely get a chance to do some amazing hunts, go amazing places. But I think that you couldn't ask for a better place to build character than being in nature and outdoors. And I think nothing gives the confidence and empowerment to a young person like being trusted with a firearm and have the opportunity to safely learn how to use it and become a master of it. So that was really, really formative. I will say what's interesting though is I was growing up in a family where they taught us how to, both my grandfather and my father felt that you should shoot iron sights, that you learn the basics. And as a kid, I'd go to the little fishing bait shops. They had a little hunting section in northern Michigan, and I always wanted to get the scopes. I thought the scopes were so cool, and I loved the idea that you can use optics and technology to improve your marksmanship, to shoot longer distances more accurately. I think it's the desire of not having that made me want to figure out, how the optics work and what can be done to really make the firearm even more accurate and more accessible to people. So really great childhood. And then early story on the company. I actually started the company as a marketing company with a sales consulting and determined that that outdoor products was be a good market to go into. We started in 2000, so this is our 25th year anniversary coming up. But it really wasn't until 2007 when we launched Sightmark that we started designing, the optics and really taking innovation responsibility for ourselves. And in those early years, we felt like, and this would resonate with First Freedom. And if you go to 2007, all the major optics companies were really focused on traditional bolt action hunting. The AR-15 was considered a fringe kind of group. It wasn't really mainstream yet. And I started the company's efforts directed at making the AR-15 as accessible and functional and accurate and flexible as a tool. And so we went out to create the best optics, and we really found there's a great opportunity to make the red dot sites were some of the first non-military sites that were performing at extremely high levels, allowed people to shoot very accurately, very quickly. Very proud of that. We had several innovations, from advanced optical systems that eliminated parallax, or I shouldn't say eliminated, but reduced parallax to very high standards, which enhances the accuracy. And then we worked on internal mechanisms to make the adjustments hold better for recoil. We added a laser co-witness to red dots. I believe it's one of the first that was available to consumers. We came out with core sights, and then eventually universal core sights with their first patent. Now we have 150 patents and all these brands, but it really started with that 2007. I'd say that origins really come from a marketing discipline background, focusing on what the market needed, telling good brand stories, create great products, and then unleashing that to make the best possible products possible. When we set out Sightmark, we wanted to create the best red dot in the world. And there's so many people have used our products, so thank you to them. If any of them are listening, Sightmark is really trying to get you out there to have a great experience. And we want to be accessible so that our future generations are out there enjoying themselves and getting those experiences that fuel a lifetime of the shooting sports.
Your company really rose during the tech boom from 2000 till today. I'm wondering what changes you've seen and what impediments have been put in your way. And unfortunately, by some social media companies don't allow you to really effectively market your products.
Yeah. And that's why, publications such as First Freedom is so important. And what the NRA does is so critical. We have been shut out of being able to share our lifestyle. We can't commercialize our videos like other people. We can't pay for AdWords to get new consumers. It's interesting. There's such a double standard of what they allow to be propagated to our culture or to our society, of values that are incompatible with self-reliance, responsibility, success, and a good, healthy life. Nothing, in my opinion, is healthier for the human than being outdoors and having responsibility, being able to provide and protect your family. And those core values that you teach through responsible gun ownership are really the foundation of success and happiness. And you see, all the negative effects of, our media that's shown to children. It's breaking down our families. It's decaying our moral values. It's taking away responsibility. It's focusing on immediate gratification and self-indulgence. We need to get our country back. And I really think that the work that the NRA is doing, NRA publications such as First Freedom, is really the only voice that's really getting the American people about the importance of our culture and how we protect that, and why why our right to bear arms and why our hunting lifestyle and why shooting sports are so important. So I think you'd probably agree with that statement.
Right. Well, thank goodness for the NRA and this large association that can get the word out to its membership. That has been a huge safeguard of this nation. But reaching these new gun owners, just so many millions of them. I'm wondering how you're able to do it. Are you seeing changes now? Because Meta did pull back some on some of their. What I've heard from different firearms makers is that they've actually seen a lot more growth in the views they're getting because they pulled back the algorithm somewhat. Are you seeing that as well, or?
I do. It does seem like our messages are getting out to a further market. Now, I would hope at some point that, we can monetize our influencers again, the people that are creating the content, sharing safety videos and things are really great quality content. We need to make that. There's no reason why you should be able to do silly dances and other bad behavior get monetized, but then you have somebody that's trying to make this country stronger and better. They should also be rewarded for that content. So we need to go further. And I actually hope that the country seems to be swinging back in the direction of really looking at individualism again and looking at responsibility. And I feel many people now realize that responsible ownership is a cornerstone of what makes us great and strong. So I do think it's swinging. You hear discussions of some online retailers and retailers that got out of the shooting space. They're like, we're missing the mark. There's a lot of new shooters, a lot of consumption happening. And I think that you might see, a general acceptance of our our products and our content getting a bigger audience. So I hope that continues. But we have a lot of work still to do before it's really level playing field with other industries that aren't promoting the same values that I think makes America great.
Well, consumer education can't be easy, especially you come out with an innovative new product, and there's a lot of word of mouth, and NRA Publications is big, and there's other vehicles out there. Getting to that larger audience, how are you doing it? Are you going directly into gun stores and teaching some employees there so they can then educate the consumers that come in the door, or how are you doing it?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. Let's talk first about the importance of small business into this country, and we need to support them. So highly recommend buying for your local gun shop. And there's some really fantastic large companies too, Academy and Shields and Bass Pro, Cabela's come to mind, many others. And they do a fantastic job of bringing in new shooters into the sport, help them find products that meet their needs and allow them to enjoy, hunting and shooting or protect their family. It's extremely important. Yes, we do need to do a better job of educating and training the staff. There is a tremendous amount of turnover at the counter positions in our retailers across the country. But that is extremely that first experience going into a store. I mean, somebody comes in, they don't know a lot. They're probably a little bit intimidated. I think we could do a better job of making them feel welcome and listened to, and then get them something that they can afford to get their journey started. One of the mistakes I think we do make is we think that we should take a new shooter and give them the most high powered rifle with the most, high caliber. Somebody starting out, again, I started out with a 22. I taught BB guns to Boy Scouts. Just you want somebody to have that first experience hitting that target and getting that confidence and the excitement and the joy of shooting. That's the really important thing. I do think on Sellmark, we have all these fantastic brands that help promote the shooting sports. We got to make sure our products work great. We got to make sure they're easy to use, especially if they're designed for relatively new shooters. But as a company, we work really hard to get our people to enjoy the outdoors. We have one of our major philanthropic efforts is we bought 6,800 acres of land in Freestone County. It's about an hour and a half south of Dallas on 45. And we're trying to preserve that lifestyle and preserve that land with, using regenerative agriculture, managing wildlife. And then we're trying to make it accessible to families. So including our staff, we have a program to get people out to shoot, to train them on firearm use, to make it comfortable and accessible. We want to make sure everybody in our own company has opportunity to do that, share that with their kids. We have a first deer hunt opportunity where if a family's never taken a deer before, that they get out trained, they go to the range, learn how to zero their rifle in, and they get a guide, they get opportunity to harvest a deer, and then they take that meat and then they get to nourish their families with the healthiest protein on the planet. And that's just a lot of fun to be able to see that. Again, when we have those events, we walk into the camp after everyone comes back, and the stories they tell you about that experience and what a life-changing moment that is for them. I think as an industry, we need to make sure we train our employees in our lifestyle. I think we need to make sure that we bring our friends and family along for the journey. We ought to invite the new people to hunt and shoot. And, even if it's just for them to be aware of it, how important the ballot box is. And, people vote on things they don't understand or experience. It's just not really fair to them. It's not really fair to our country. So I would challenge everybody in the industry and everybody in our society. Let's invite a friend or neighbor out that hasn't gone to the range before and make it a really enjoyable experience for them.
I've been on your social media and I've seen the Sellmark Ranch and the photos you showed of your employees out there. That it just looks like an awesome experience. You're bringing them all together behind that shared activity, whether they're shooting or perhaps going hunting. And then the product development, the ideas that must come out of that collaboration and that fun atmosphere.
No, absolutely correct. And I'd love to see you come out and join us on an opportunity to test some new products and enjoy that lifestyle. My hope is that everybody in the country can have an opportunity to learn how to use a firearm safe and responsibly. And then anybody that wants to go hunting to be able to opportunity to do that. we have to do a better job of protecting our farmland in this country. It needs to, the importance of the family farm and the family ranch. We need to make hunting and shooting accessible. Without these spaces and then without the ability to bring people in the public to use it, that's probably our number one threat, I think, to longevity of the hunting side of the shooting sports. So I'm glad that you see that. We're trying to do something that lasts well beyond Sellmark, and just to make the little corner of Texas protected from developments, but make it accessible to people is a challenge. But it's already been rewarding after the short period of time that we've been honored that opportunity.
It seems to me we're not only growing, we have more opportunities to grow across the shooting sports and in hunting. I think the green movement has actually accepted us the best meat available more than ever before that I've seen during my career. But I'm looking at your employees and what they're doing together and just through via social media. And I'm wondering, are you finding it hard to recruit from the schools today and where academia has gone? Finding it hard to recruit quality people, or are you training them up, or how are you working that?
Yeah, that's interesting. When I went to school, there's still a lot of like ski clubs and shooting clubs. My college was a small liberal arts school, and they had a shooting club. It's competitive shooting. I don't know if that's accessible to as many people as it needs to be, and I would highly recommend that we bring back the opportunity for our schools, primary and secondary education, to give students the opportunity to do that. Again, you look at, the kind of like opening this up to a discussion about the importance and the outcomes for people that do hunt, shoot. And I think that you'll find, and I found this, and we talk about the concerns about depression and suicide and these negative effects of our society. This isn't happening when people are outdoors, exploring the outdoors, living in nature, learning about wildlife, learning about our farms and our agriculture and our livestock, and the people that do the hunting. And those outcomes are, you have people that are motivated, they're helping their neighbors, they're really giving back to communities. The best people I know are the people that are farm owners and people that are outdoors hunting and shooting. If I needed help, I would go ask a farm owner first, because that they're always there ready to help you. And your point about the nutrition, we have this amazing abundance of wildlife across North America, and we don't take advantage of it. We have areas where there's overpopulation issues. We have legislation stopping the proper management of game species. And we have people in the same communities are eating poisoned, industrialized food that's killing them. And all the negative health outcomes of that. We do need a proper balance with our resources, and hunting is an instrumental tool to make that happen. And it's just unfathomable that you'd have an overpopulation issue, and you're denying people the quality protein. That there really is nothing healthier for the body than natural wild game. So, and there's definitely all the health benefits of actually being out in the field as well as eating those foods. So yeah, I think that's a big opportunity for sure.
Right. The hunter conservation has brought back all this wildlife, and all we want to do is manage it. And companies like yours are paying taxes that go back into these conservation programs from federal aid programs. Again, paying for all this stuff. I don't think that's known enough by the general public, but it is so important.
It is. I absolutely agree. And I'm glad to be able to, in a small way, to try to help promote that.
James, as you're one of the leaders of the firearms industry, I'm curious, at SHOT Show and all your travels and through your employees, what are you hearing about the NRA, and what do you think we could maybe be doing better to grow and outreach and reach all these new gun owners?
Absolutely. The NRA is such an important organization to protect our freedoms and our culture. Of course, there's always opportunity. And I think what's so exciting about where NRA is today is a great time to renew your membership. It's a great time to get involved. We have great leadership. I personally know Doug Hamlin, from the publications, now the CEO of the NRA. His positive leadership and what he's trying to do to make the NRA even better than before is inspiring. So I think really getting involved. I think make sure you keep your membership up. I know that I think at one point I didn't like paying dues annually, so I went with the lifetime membership. And then I did an endowment, something I can't remember, but I think we all need to do our part. But I think it's to me the part of the NRA that doesn't get enough accolades is the local community outreach, and gun safety, and working with kids and families. That's the future. We all need to be able to help and support in our ways to get young people the confidence and be able to be responsible citizens. And I think the NRA does a great job with that. And then learning a little bit about their international outreach is great too, because there's, freedom is not, freedom's a decline in a lot of countries around the world. Every day, every law is passed, is actually making people less safe. And they're less able to participate in hunting and shooting sports. So anything we can do internationally to advocate responsible gun ownership, I think is really great. And I'm so excited about the NRA's future. I think again we got great leadership. It's a great time to get involved. Local chapters. I know I'm actually talking to our staff about sending some of our people to the some of the training that they do on being a range officer, and the range instruction or shooting instructor course that you guys offer, second to none. So I think it's time to get deeper involved in NRA and support you guys more than ever.
Right. The NRA has instructors, tens of thousands of them across the nation. Anyone can find by going to nrainstructors.org, putting in their zip code, and all these courses will pop up that they can take to improve themselves, become safer, but also to learn basic things about firearms, become more proficient so you can defend yourself and your loved ones and enjoy the shooting sports even more. And then there's Friends of NRA and our state affiliates and clubs. And it's I think the hardest thing for the NRA is to get the word out about all that it does, given the legacy media's politics. It makes it a bit difficult. But certainly that's on us as well. We have to talk more and get this out there.
Yeah, there's great chapters. If you want to get to know some other great people and in the community, the chapters, the Friends of NRA, there's always something going on. Probably within a drive of 90% of Americans could attend a meeting and get involved. 100%.
Things are looking up. We're growing, and people are getting involved. And thanks to industry leaders such as yourself, I think the future is bright.
I agree. Can't wait to stay this fight with you and to keep America down the right path with working together.
Thank you, James.
Thank you so much.